Today at Amarillo City Hall, a meet the finalist was held for Amarillo Police Department's next Chief of Police.
That story is part of our Democracy 2025 coverage tonight. Since February, Interim Chief of Police Jimmy Johnson has served in the position following the retirement of former Police Chief Martin Birkenfeld after he wrote a letter in his personal time in the sentencing of Cole Underwood. The former Perryton athletic director was sentenced to prison for sexual contact with a 15-year-old. In July, the city hired a search firm to conduct a national search to find the next finalist and had a survey for residents to share what they wanted to see from the next chief. In late November, the city announced the three finalists as APD Interim Chief of Police Jimmy Johnson, Irving Assistant Chief of Police Thomas Hover, and Executive Director Greg Stevens. Today, the three were able to meet the community and share their vision for APD and hear from the community. Johnson, who has over 30 years of municipal law experience, has focused on community engagement, professional standards, and evidence-based policing as interim chief and his previous role as assistant chief. Tonight, Johnson was visibly emotional, sharing it was his lifelong dream to be an Amarillo police officer, saying it's not just a career, but his calling.
Amarillo is my home. This police department, I grew up in this police department. I love the men and women that work in this police department, and I love the men and women and families of our community out here. I'm not interested in being a police chief. I'm interested in being the Amarillo Police Department chief.
Assistant Chief of Police for Irving Police Department, Thomas Hover, has over 25 years of progressive experience and has focused on community policing, officer wellness, and currently oversees field operations and specialized bureaus for IPD. Hover says Amarillo is the place he wants to be, and in the first 100 days, he'd spend time listening.
Right? Not just within the organization itself, but also the other directors and community members. Right? I think over time I can build a good 3 to 5 year plan, but that's going to take a couple months to get that done. But the biggest part, what I want to do is not come in with any preconceived notions or ideas. The idea is to understand and listen.
The final candidate is Greg Stevens, who is currently the Executive Director for Texas Commission on Law Enforcement. Stevens was formerly the Chief of Police for Lubbock and Rockport Police Departments. Stevens is an Amarillo native who says he's always wanted to work for APD, and his statewide experience has made him uniquely qualified.
Going out across the state of Texas and seeing best practices with the police department, sheriff's offices, law enforcement agencies out across the state, and that's valuable experience. Also seen some poor practices, right? But really been able to see best practices across the state and be able to bring that with me back to Amarillo.
All three candidates say the chief position is a 24/7, 365 days a year position. In July, city officials shared they'd like to have a final candidate selected in December or January, depending on if it's someone internal or an outside candidate. To see more from the finalists in our previous coverage of the search for finding the next chief, go to myhighplains.com.